I don't want to have to do this! Just tell me where they are!
This was only supposed to be a movie review.
Okay, just remember you did this to yourself. I don't want to have to do this. Here's my review for Prisoners. Okay, I don't need this any longer. So the movie Prisoners is about two little girls who go missing one day during a Thanksgiving meal, and you have Hugh Jackman's character, Keller Donner, who plays a middle-class working guy just trying to get by. And the movie really follows and focuses on what will one man do, what extremes will he go to get his daughter back. And we'll talk more about that aspect of the film a little bit later. Now this movie has so many classic storytelling elements, all handled very well. You have crime, you have drama, you have a suspense, you have a thriller. And they're all set in this environment where it's dark and drabby and cold. Throughout this entire movie, it's always wet. And there's something about that that just adds another layer of creepiness, or at least to me. Here's a backstory and a true story. When I got out of this movie, it was raining. I went to Walmart, okay? Now this movie makes you question everyone. Like, you can't trust anyone after you watch this movie. I went into Walmart, I was looking around, I was like, yep, that guy, that guy, that guy, and that chick right there, they're all pedophiles. I can't trust any of them. Yeah, after you watch this movie, you just feel really damp and dirty inside, or at least I did. And I kinda liked it. But you know what? When you start getting into these kind of movies, these are the movies that emotionally take you where you don't want to go, but for some odd reason, you keep heading towards that dark tunnel. Yeah, it's like that's the metaphor we're using. You're walking towards a dark hole, but you gotta know the mystery, the suspense. It's dangerous, it's creepy, there's little drops of water dripping on your head as you walk down this tunnel from a rusty pipe above, but you keep going anyway. That's what these kind of movies are to me. That's the best explanation I can give you, so we're gonna stick with that. Now in this movie, once these two little girls go missing, everyone's world turns upside down. I think the movie did a really good job at showcasing that, and it was believable and viable. Like, I would buy into that really happening, and that's how people would react. You know, you have Hugh Jackman, who's the father of one of the girls, and he gets really loud and aggressive. He wants to take action. He's not taking shit from anyone. He almost turns into the Wolverine at some points in this movie. The ends would justify the means in this man's opinion, and that's kind of like my motto in life. I could really see myself being in his position. I would be like, yeah, I'd probably do the same thing if it happened to me, so I could really sympathize with his character for the most part. And then you have Terrence Howard's character in the movie, who's the father of one of the girls, and his character is a little bit more kept in and reserved about his emotions. He's not quite as aggressive as Hugh Jackman, aka Wolverine, in the movie. Now, it's at this point in the movie where we're introduced to our two other main characters. First, we have Jake Gyllenhaal's character, and then you have the main suspect of the movie, played by Paul Dano, it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm just gonna call him Klitz. If you ever seen the movie The Girl Next Door, you'd call him Klitz too. And his character in this movie is really creepy, really soft-spoken, but before we jump into more creepiness, let's back up and talk about Jake Gyllenhaal's character in this movie. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal's character in this movie plays this police detective, and I'd say he's probably my favorite character to watch in this movie, because this guy wasn't some Boy Scout police officer. He wasn't by the book. Like, this guy would kick in doors and punch you in the side of the head to get the right answer out of you. Now, the one major thing I noticed about his character in this movie was he was the only guy in this movie who was capable of getting anything done. The rest of the police force are completely useless. Like, he's the only cop on the whole force that actually knows how to solve a crime, it seems like. The entire vibe of this movie is very creepy, very dark, very depressing, but it's very immersive at the same time because, like I said in the beginning, this handles so many different elements and it blends them all together. And, you know, when you watch this movie as a viewer, it really does suck you into the story, the suspense, and the mystery of what's going on. And also, there's so many great moments in this movie. Now, I will say, I seen the movie yesterday, and after you set on this movie for a day and really think about it, there's some things that are a little bit taped together. They're not quite cohesive as they could be, and they're a little bit flimsy when you really think about them. But when you watch the movie for the first time, it really does engage you as a viewer, and you really buy into what's happening. Okay, so my final thoughts on the movie Prisoners. This movie is 2.5 hours long, and never once did I look at my phone and think, oh wow, this movie has another 35 minutes to go, because I enjoyed every second that this movie had to offer me an A. Okay guys, so thanks for watching, and by the way, here's my question to you. What is your all-time favorite creepy movie to watch? Just that movie that makes you feel dark and cold inside. If I had to pick, I'd say Silence of the Lambs. Let me know what yours is down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.